Hola, hola. Que pasola. That is eastbound skier traffic. We are Eisenhower Hill westbound, so we're going downhill. We are locked in 8th gear. Full on Jake. 78,000 pounds. Temperature of 19 degrees. I was running out of video. I had to make some more. On vacation. Wasn't filming anything on vacation. The Christmas break. Nothing to see here. Weather-wise, anyway. So we are taking this hill. You got to be careful. It gets up to 36, 37. Speed limit's 35. And you know, you fluctuate a little bit with your speed. Because, well, if you don't want to use your brakes, if I wanted to use my brakes, I wanted to overheat my brakes, keep them at the fail point, then every time my truck got to 36 miles an hour, I would use the brakes to slow it back down to stay in the speed limit. I let it go 36, 37, starts getting up past that, then I will hit the brakes. I try not to go over that. That's the thing with the ELD now. You can't, there's no wiggle room. So the law states 35, you have to do 35. Therefore, you go 36 and your Jake isn't holding, you have to use the brakes. So you stay at 35. And therefore, you heat your brakes up. And that was like my biggest complaint with the ELD is there's no wiggle room. There's no gray area. You know, it's plain and simple, black and white. It is now, it has become a tool of the prosecutors against the prosecuted. The prosecuted have no gray area. There's no excuse. We are professionals. We are paid. Anytime you're paid to do something, that makes you a professional. Therefore, part of that means obey all laws. And, you know, you try to do the best you can. Sometimes you don't, you know. I mean, thank God the speed limit in Utah is 80 miles an hour. Because we'll be cruising along and not really realizing you're on a slight grade and you hit, your speed starts to kick up. Now here's the end of 35. That means we are now free. I'm going to take the flashers off and get my speed up just to about 50, 55, and I'll run full Jake again. So by the time we get down, there's 55, I'm full Jake. By the time we get down towards the bottom, we'll be at the 65 mile per hour mark. if I need to use the brakes a couple of times here and there, I will. We're at 62 right now, full Jake, speed limit 65. But what I mean about the 80 mile per hour Utah speed limit is, you know, our truck is governed at 70, and I need to change lanes here because this lane is an exit only lane. Some people don't like it. Think trucks should stay in the right lane. That's usually California. Which, to show you how screwed up California is, well, I'll go with that in a minute, but the 80 mile per hour, before you realize it, you got a cruise control on, now your truck is doing 74. And you're like, oh geez, it's, you know, you didn't realize the hill, just a gradual, but it's enough because you're heavy, now you're breaking the speed limit. But you're not breaking the speed limit because it's 80 mile per hour. Now, quality speed limit is 70. They don't care. They'll give you a wiggle room, if you will. I don't get written up if I did 78, 80 miles an hour. They say something when I get 79. Like, dude, keep it back down. But I don't get in trouble. Doesn't go my CSA. Doesn't make me a bad driver. Some people will say, yeah, absolutely, you're the worst driver at all for going over 60 mile per hour. But to each their own. And so we went all the way down the hill. Now we're at 59. I just took the full Jake on. Now I need to speed up because this hill is a hill. I want to get as fast as I can without going over the speed limit. I'll go 67 right here. Speed limit's 65, but I'm going to start dropping right away. There I am at 65 right now. So ELD will tell on me for 2 miles an hour that I went over. And I'm a bad person for doing that. A bad driver, I should say. But like, there was a reason behind it. So you got 3 lanes right here. In California, your trucks are supposed to stay in the right-hand lane. And I understand it because all the cars are flying by in the other 2 lanes. But, you know, some trucks will lane hog. They'll stay next to another truck. Cars do the same thing. And now you have, time to flash her on. Now you have issues of impeding traffic. But this guy ran his high beams on me pretty good. Time to pay back a little bit. I'm probably a bad driver to some people for doing that, but he did it to me. Anyway, like, Vegas had their, through traffic, stay left. And so they changed it now to a diamond lane, move everybody else over to the side. Only diamond can use the far left lanes. I still will get over there, not in the lanes, but next to it. And here's why. Everybody's getting on and off the freeway. They're getting on, they're getting off. They're getting on, they're getting off. All your traffic is over there. I'm in the far left lane going through Vegas for a reason. Because I'm not stopping. I'm going right through. I'm not going to what am I trying to say here? I'm not going to be getting off. Now, if I'm going to be getting off in the lane or in an exit there in Vegas, then of course I move over and I do it well in advance. But In California, you're supposed to stay in the right-hand lane. Now, as a semi and you're heavy, you get your truck going slowly, slowly, slowly. You finally get it going. Now you're up to 55. Traffic comes on. Boom, you hit the brakes. You got to slow back down because you got to stay in that lane. Now traffic is impeding you. Now you slow down, back down to 35, 30 mile an hour. You then hit the throttle because now everybody else is gone. Now they're gone. So now you hit the throttle and you're powering back up. Takes you a mile or two to get back to 50, 55. You come to another exit. Boom, you hit the brakes again. And you just keep doing that. And you're sucking down fuel. You're wasting fuel. If you were in the middle lane, you can be steady at one speed for the most part. I mean, there's always going to be instances, but I'm just saying, when you're in the far right lane, it's the stupidest thing. For people getting on and off, that's fine. But if you're traveling through, like I'm saying, Vegas got rid of those lanes, which I'm really bummed out about it. I know there's some people say I'm a left lane hog. Usually do it when I'm passing people. A lot of times people don't see. If there's someone behind me, I'll absolutely move back over. Colorado now has a law, like Texas, you're not supposed to, you only use that left lane for passing. Same in Utah. Now, of course, each state is different. And they have their own rules. You know, some people will see my videos in one state. Automatically, I assume, thinking that I'm in their state. You know, and saying, "Oh, dude," in the comment section, you're not supposed to be over there. You shouldn't be driving like that. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. Well, now we can't do anything. It's going to get to the point, I think, where what they're going to do is the automated truck, because a lot of people have asked about that. Your automated truck is going to, you know, put you out of a job pretty soon. Are you worried about it? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it'll never work in the mountains. But I now see how it can work. With the constriction of the new ELD, I mean, it's total clampdown. A few people, you know, I thought about it like, well, how are they going to get, I need to switch lanes here. How are they going to get the sensors to work on a truck driving through the snow? And keep them from being covered. And I thought about it. I was like, well, they just have to heat the outside, and that will melt the snow, and therefore keep the sensor face clear so that it can do its job. But there's no way it's going to learn how to put chains on. It's not going to throw its own chains on. How is it going to navigate the mountains in a snowstorm? And I'm like, it's going to be a long time. I don't think it'll ever happen. But now with the ELD, I have seen the light. I now see, I think, how it's going to happen. And it's not pretty. It is not pretty. the ELD has given me an insight into the complete destruction of freedom of the open road. It's gone. It is now gone. It's going. It's going to get to a point where it's gone. And here is how I think. Of course, it's just my opinion. Here's how I think they're going to do it. Here's how you could have millions of regulations on a truck driver, and they're going to go right back to work looking on how can we regulate the bastards more. Let's get them down. Let's just get rid of them. That's what we need to do. Get rid of the truck drivers. But like I said, my insight now into how they're going to do automated trucking through the Rockies or anywhere else where it snows. What they're going to do, I believe, now of course it's all hypothetical, it's all speculation on my part. There's no science to back it up. I haven't done any studying. This is just a driver who drives in the snow, who knows what it's all about, even though I still get people that tell me that I'm going to be in the ditch pretty soon, but it's neither here nor there. That can always happen. That can happen to anybody. It can happen anytime to anyone, and so I know that. I don't think that I'm some special driver at all. I honestly don't think that. Some people may think I do think that, but I don't. I'm not vain at all in that sense. I'm not vain at all, period. I'm very humble when it comes down to it. I know I haven't gone off in the ditch. I haven't lost control. In a commercial vehicle, I have in my personal car. And I push the boundaries too much. That's the type of person I am. I will push the boundaries till I find out where the limits are. Even with YouTube, I'm finding there are limits. That's a whole nother video, but so I mean, I'm not saying that, like, I know how to drive in the snow, and I do my best to not go in the off the road. Is it possible? Absolutely. Could it happen to me? Absolutely. Do I think it's going to happen to me? No, I don't think so. But could it? Yeah. And the reason I don't think so is because I have all this knowledge and years of doing it. And so I know where my boundaries are. You know? So anyway, there's Copper Mountain right in front. Anybody want to hit the slopes? It'd be nice to see that mountain all lit up and do some night skiing. Oh, this tripod just used to be a pain in the butt sometimes. The way that I see the government automating trucks through the Rockies in the snowstorm is to have a completely automated truck, but have a driver sit, put the chains on, and basically just sit there and sit with, babysit the truck while it does its thing. I would think that there would be an override, and maybe the override will be at first until they grow, and then it'll get to a point where you can't override the truck at all. You know, I can hear truckers in the future going, man, I remember back in the day in the automated trucking that, you know, if we saw the truck going to do something, we would be able to intervene and because the cameras couldn't see that far out and blah, blah, blah. Now you cannot override the automated truck. What's this world coming to? I mean, that's kind of what I see coming. The death of trucking, not of trucking, but the death of the truck driver. The American trucking experience is gone, it's going, gone. The freedom of the road, going, gone. You're not going to be able to do anything. It's all going to be automated. And I think that, to start out, that they'll have a driver sit in the truck and let the truck do it, but you babysit it and put the chains on, and, in case it starts going too fast for the conditions, then you can override it or slow it down. And I think that's kind of how it's going to go. Because, like right now, they're running automated trucks between California and Phoenix. Okay. They do get sandstorms up there, or down there, I should say. We're coming up on Vail Pass, too, by the way. They do get their snowstorms, sandstorms. What did I say? Snowstorm? No snow. Well, possibly. It has done before. But that's like easy run. Tempered. It's perfect temperature. So they're doing their testing over there. And someone asked me a long time ago, what do you think about automated trucking? What about going through the snow and in the mountains? I go, that ain't gonna happen. I go, they can put a heater on the cover of the lens of the sensor, so the sensor will keep reading, but the truck doesn't know what to do in snow. It doesn't know, how's the truck gonna chain itself? Well, you could have drop-down chains, They already got those. So that's one answer for that. They could also have, a hunk of rump roast like myself sit and babysit it and put the chains on when it tells me to put the chains on. And sit back and babysit it through the snowstorm until they get enough data and enough knowledge to then totally eliminate the driver. I think that's how I can see it coming to reality sooner than later. And what brought me to this attention was the ELD. This new ELD stuff where you cannot. Now, a driver told me that you can't go over 5 miles an hour. I can't. My thing won't let me. And I talked to another driver in the comments who said, he's like, dude, the companies set their speed limits. It can go from 5 to 20 mile an hour. So I'm like, really? Well, so that's a company issue. But I heard our company kicked it up to 20 miles an hour, but I haven't seen that yet. I don't know. Maybe in an update or something like that. Just to give you an idea, I was on PC and I forgot. It didn't stay on PC. It asked me if I wanted to or not, but I didn't catch that message. So I was going back to where I think I went to take a shower, and I was going back, and I started driving, and boom, violation, because I moved the truck. out of hours and everything else because I was on PC. So it's a revenue generator. Now I'm a violator, which is why I have the plate on my old Caddy. And through no fault of our own, was on PC, but I guess it was my fault. I forgot to check it because it asks you, do you want to stay on PC? How come you don't ask me, do I want to stay on duty when I'm doing that? How come you don't ask me, do you want to continue driving when I'm doing that? And, you know, I mean, it only does it when it benefits the driver. They want to take that away from you. So anyway, violation, there you go, boom. I'm telling on myself now. I'll probably get somebody to do an audit on me now and find that violation so that, because I just admitted to it, so they can give me a ticket, mess up my driving record, and which is actually really good, clean record. And then my CSA messed that up. I guess eventually they would, you know, to get me out of the truck. I don't know. I know one thing though, I'm having a problem with my ELD. It was frozen, so I hit restart whilst I'm driving. And now it just sits there and says, an installing version. That's all it's doing. So if my ELD messes up, we're supposed to go to paper log. Okay, fine and dandy. You got to show 7 days prior. 8 days total. How do you do that? I don't know. But you're supposed to show it. So, okay. So I pulled from my memory, because I can't look at my ELD because it's malfunctioning. So I can't look at it to get back and see where I drove, where I stopped, where I went on duty, off duty, all that stuff. You know, so then you don't know. So you fill it out to the best of your ability. If you sign it, you're stating that that's true. But how can it be true when you don't know for sure? So I guess you would just have to not sign it. Make it up. Show your 7 prior days. If you're on vacation, that's easy. But if you were working, that's not easy. All your mileage, all this stuff. So I think what a driver should do is fill out a paper log daily. You got an e-log, but you still got to fill a paper log out. You should. Because if you ever have to be forced because the ELD messed up. Now here you go again. The ELD messed up. So you run paper. If you don't do that, this just happened to a driver. He didn't show prior 7 days. And he even told the cop, how do I do that? Well, I don't know. But now you're in violation, so he wrote it up in the report and shut him down for 10 hours. The more I deal with the new ELDs, the more I realize how true my license plate was. Violator. The reason, what is your reason for this vanity plate? That's as far as I ever got vanity-wise. As a CMV driver, the ELD will cause you to violate through no fault of your own. The clerk goes, I don't think they're going to give you this license. Well, all right, I don't care. We'll find out though, right? Doesn't hurt to check. They gave it to me. So anyway, another driver got a violation because his E-log messed up. It's, like I said, it's a tool for the prosecutor. And it is a weapon for the prosecuted. This is Vale Pass. Pretty nice. Some of you may realize why I got in the left lane. No reason for it. Right there. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's getting pretty bad so far. The ELD is actually taking money from drivers. And it does that by taking time, which in turn keeps a driver from driving, which in turn, if he gets paid by the mile, yep, take those away from you, take this away from you, take this away from you, take your ability to think from you. It is really, really, I don't know. I just don't know. It's discouraging. It's heartbreaking. I was going to drive. Hopefully I can do that, but I don't know. I know they're hard at work right now figuring out more regulations they can put on a truck. Or, you know, how can we really mess these guys up? How can we keep them from making money? How can we just strangle them? Well, I know that we're waiting for our automated trucks. I know we're waiting. Hopefully they'll get here, but it's going to be a while. So in the meantime, let's choke the chicken. Mike the choked chicken. They're gonna frickin' constrict. And they'll never go back, you know. It'll never go back to the way it was. I don't know if you can see, you know, Mike is fell off. I think you can see him anyway right now because it's too dark. He's still there. He just fell off the window. I had to stick it back up there. So yeah, that's my insight as to how I think they're going to automated truck through the Rockies. Put a slab or rump roast to babysit the automation. It's going to be funny when the automated truck runs out of government hours and shuts down right there in its path. in a robot voice that says, "I cannot move. My time has expired. Please get away from the truck." Oh my God, is it actually happening? I never thought it would, but I see the beginning of the end. You know, the prosecutors, what I mean by that, DOT, police officers, DAs, judges, auditors, it doesn't matter. To me, they're all the prosecutors. They'll just go and run you through the mill. Violation, 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 violation. Now you have so many violations, you can't drive anymore. Now for the year, you have to come back after your points reset. My ELD is still initializing version. Hey, here's the bad part. I still have 2 hours. I'm going to get to my destination. I'm not going to be able to go off duty. I'm not going to be able, it's going to continually driving. It's going to violate me, and now I won't be able to drive come Sunday, if this thing doesn't fix itself, because I'll be out of hours. The log will say I'm out of hours because it's going to keep running in the background. I need to shut it down tonight when I'm done driving, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'll keep working on this. I'll try to reset it again. I'm trying the restarts. Usually I've never had a problem doing that, but for some reason now it's stuck on initializing. This is the 4th time I've now attempted to do it. I don't know. Well, we'll call this video good for tonight. I didn't mean it to be a rant fest. However, it sort of did. It was nice to cruise through Vail at night. No snow. It was a little bit here and there, but no chains. That's a good way to go. So thank you again for riding shotgun. I'm your driver, Mountain Man Mike. Until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy. Peace.